Hey folks, it's the Buckeye Prepper. You know, by now everybody's aware that there is a shortage of ammunition in this country. It seems to be very widespread and very severe. I mainly have gotten my target ammo from two sources. I get them online at freedommunitions.com, which is currently suspended. I mean, the site's still there. They've suspended sales. And Walmart, which as of today, at least here in Columbus, Walmart I went to had 0 of all of these calibers. There's your 9, your 40, and your 45. Walmart had none of that. But fortunately, last year, especially in the first half of the year, I just felt like it was time to stock up, so I actually have plenty of this stuff on hand. So I can go target shooting, and I'm not too concerned about it. You know, I know I can't replace what I shoot. That's got me a little concerned, but I've got a little bit of a cushion built in, so I think I'm good for a while. Hopefully for the next 6 months I'm good. You know, I'll be a little bit judicious about it. And of course, that brings me to this little guy right here. Looks pretty lonely. He looked pretty lonely on the top shelf of the Walmart ammo case today as well. But I went into Walmart. It was about lunchtime. I was actually on my lunch break, so I went in, looked at the ammo case, and there's that little guy sitting right there. 325 rounds of Federal .22 long rifle. So I went. Of course, there's nobody in sporting goods. I went to the auto center, had him paid somebody. By this time, another fellow shows up. As we're standing there for the guy with the ammo key to show up and unlock it, he looks at me and says, "You're not after that .22 long rifle, are you?" And I said, "You bet I am." He turned around and walked away. So that little guy was mine. It was $14.27 for a little box like that. Now, if you break that down, if that was a box of 550 Federal, it'd be about $24, a little over 24. So it's a little pricey. Not terribly pricey, and it was there, so I went ahead and picked it up. Now, I know a lot of people may not be preppers, and they don't keep much on hand. I actually didn't have a real need for that because I am a prepper. I keep a little bit of .22 long rifle on hand for my .22 pistol. It's a great little plinker, the Browning Buckmark. This stuff I keep on hand. I've had this for a while. Took it up, shot about 100 rounds of it tonight, along with the 9 up at Blackwing Shooting Center. What you're looking at right there, including this little guy, there's about 4,500 rounds of .22. So I think I've got enough to do plenty of plinking, many trips for plinking. But knowing that there seems to be a shortage of the .22 and the 9, and I'm getting that from what I'm reading online on several different sites, .22 and 9 just disappearing. I used to be able to go to that Walmart, and there was always several boxes of that 550 Federal .22 on the shelf, so I didn't worry about it too much. I picked up several last summer, and that's what these are from. But, you know, I'm really glad I did now because they were cheap. And I've got plenty of target ammo to go shoot in the .22. So I know that there's been a couple of videos on YouTube recently, and I don't want to pick on anybody, but I do want to comment. Both of the videos were talking about going to Walmart, and both of them was basically, you know, if you find ammo, just get some and leave a little on the shelf for the next guy. And I watched the first one, and he said basically he went there, and the guy in front of him, there were like 22 boxes of 9mm, about 1,100 rounds. He said the guy in front of me bought all of it, didn't leave any. I guess that upset him. You know, so he's saying, you know, if there's several boxes there, just get a couple and move on. Saw another video from a different fella This was about 2 days ago. And he said kind of the same thing, that he was there and there were several boxes, and a guy in front of him bought like 5 and left some, and he bought like 2 or 3 and left some, and he said like 4 times in his video, you leave some for the next guy. And I'm sitting there like, why? I don't consider myself to be an asshole, but if that ammo's there and I want to buy it and I have a need for it, I'm buying it, if I'm allowed. Now Walmart has now restricted you to 3 boxes. But if the ammo's there and you're in a mind to buy it, buy it. It doesn't matter if you need it or don't need it. If you really don't need it and you know the guy behind you needs it, maybe let him have a couple boxes. The guy behind me today on that box, he didn't express any particular need for it. I didn't express any particular desire to abdicate. Yeah, I got plenty already, but replenishing. You got to keep your supplies replenished. You can't just prep all this stuff up and then just squirrel it all out the door. You keep refilling. It's just like the bottled water. I mean, you've seen, maybe if you've watched some of my videos, I've got a couple videos out there, and you see a whole bunch of bottled water in my basement. Well, that bottled water gets replaced continuously. Periodically, I'm going and buying 5, 6, 7 cases of that stuff, and it gets restocked. It's all in date order, and it all gets rotated. None of that water sits there. The oldest water there is about 14 months old, but it all gets rotated. Same is true of the ammo. It gets shot and it gets rotated. New comes in, old goes out. See right there, that's what I take up to the range. I put those in my range bag. Those are great little deals. You get them over at Kroger, put the little screw top on them. Excellent for the range bag. They won't, they won't fall apart. They hold the ammo well. They hold the weight. So that's it. Just my commentary. Maybe you don't agree with me on the ammo thing, but if you are a person who did not prepare before this storm hit, if you don't have ammo, I'm sorry. It's not my issue, though, to make sure you get some ammo if I'm looking for ammo. And it doesn't matter if I have 4,000 rounds on hand. I want to buy another box of it to replenish what I'm shooting up. I want to do that. And I'm not going to feel bad if you didn't get any. You should have prepared. And especially some of these guys, unless you're 20 years old, I could understand. But if you're 45, 50 years old, or 40 years old, or 35, it doesn't matter. But if you're a man who's been around a while, and especially if you have a family, you had damn well better prepare if you haven't done it. And that's food, that's water, that's guns, that's ammo, that's medications, that's first aid, that's all kind of stuff. So that's my rant. Take care, everybody. Happy shooting, and long live the USA. Thanks. Bye-bye.